Imagine this.
Nistelrooy trying to run past Romero. Ruud van Nistelrooy
Playing with this. Yes, Manchester United were a whisker away from having a forward line of Ruud van Nistelrooy and Ronaldinho up front in the summer of 2003. But what happened? Here's CEO Peter Kenyon on the Rio Ferdinand Presents podcast.
So, look, this was the same as any other transfer. Alex would be involved in it. Critical decisions: does he want him? Why he wants him? Where he would play? Who he would replace? Etc. 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 Right. So Alex was involved all the way through. Normally, in these cases, you're dealing with the player and his agent. Here, we're dealing with the player and his several agents and about 20 other people in the room. Yes, he's a great player. Yes, he could play, but suddenly we're into a whole different thing. You know, really our first Brazilian. You know, injecting that sort of culture around training, you know, not normally on time, which is a massive thing.
Yeah, the Brazilian training culture's
is different.
Yeah,
the
different.
Brazilian health culture, different. Fantastic players. But there was all sorts of other things that started to get, you know, introduced into this. And he was clearly coming with a lot of people. You know, and Rio, you know what United was like at that point. I mean, you know, it was an institution. I mean, nobody got treated differently than the rest.
Kenyon is off the mark here about lifestyle and entourage too, because Alex Ferguson has a history with players being a little different, shall we say, as long as he thought they were good enough. I mean, Eric Cantona kung fu kicked a fan and would swan off to Paris on occasion. Cristiano Ronaldo got away with murder too, and Wayne Rooney enjoyed a granny or two. But they were all amazing players, so they got away with it. So I imagine Sir Alex Ferguson would have let Ronaldinho turn up in a sombrero with a mariachi band playing if it made him happy, so long as he performed at the weekend.
You couldn't do that.
Correct. So this started to become a bigger issue, actually, than the money. And you know, we sort of got an agreement with the club. We could have got an agreement with the player, but it was all starting to get to the edges of, you know,
What, there was like entourage and other external demands.
Yeah, and we came back and sort of said, look, you know, on balance, don't think this is gonna.
And don't forget, we signed Cleberson that same summer, and he turned up at Manchester Airport with his 15-year-old wife who he'd just married. So I think Peter Kenyon's got a little bit of selective memory there.
I mean, we just, you know, as you just mentioned, David had sort of moved on, and part of that move on was around the environment. You know, not just playing. And again, I think that becomes today, that's a bigger issue, I believe, than it was then.
The noise that a player brings to the club.
For sure.
Was obviously all the stuff that was going on in media and stuff, or interest around him was crazy, and the manager I don't think was liking that. So then to bring someone else who's going to be bigger, doing that and doing more of that.
And might not have actually trained as hard.
100% wouldn't have done.
It would have been amazing having Ronaldinho wearing the number 7 for Manchester United, but I don't buy Kenyon's reasons for him not coming. At the end of the day, he's Brazilian, and he's going to want to play in a warmer climate. It was the same with Cristiano Ronaldo. The only reason he left United was he wanted somewhere more to his taste, climate-wise. And there's nothing wrong with that. Zinedine Zidane chose Madrid over Manchester for the same reasons a couple of years earlier. Thinking back, what actually happened was United offered a large wad of cash to PSG, maybe 25 million because Barcelona were interested, but Barca pulled out of the race because they couldn't match it, and they were also fighting Real Madrid for David Beckham. So when Barca pulled out, United lowered the offer thinking PSG didn't have any other options. But Madrid got Beckham, and then Barca went all out for Ronaldinho and gave him and PSG everything he wanted. And the rest, as they say, is history. So I think Kenyon is trying to save face a little here because he probably buggered it up a little bit. But we all make mistakes. That being said, if Ronaldinho really wanted to sign for United, I think he would have. But hey ho, it's fun to imagine. Anyway, who would you like to have seen play for Manchester United that we didn't get? Thoughts in the comments.